loyalty to companies out there. Massive fallout. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average tenure of an American worker now is down to 2.5 years and falling fast. And I think the biggest reason for that is Monster and Career Builder. If I had to pinpoint two things, I'd say it's Monster and Career Builder. There are many Americans who have a resume that just keep their resume posted on Monster and Career Builder 365 days a year. And you've hired me today, great Larry, I'm looking forward to long-term working with you, buddy, blah, 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 blah. My resume is still sitting up there, and if you got a quarter more an hour for me next day, yeah, that's awesome. I'm a long-term, I want to be here for a long time. You got another dime? That's awesome, right? 1 week, I got 3 of a cover. You know, to many people, they're job gypsies now. They literally, they allow themselves to be promoted through Career Builder and Monster. And here's my suggestion. Any company that uses Monster, Career Builder, anything like that, if you use these organizations, 30 days after you hired Larry, go back and see if Larry's resume is still active on that site. If Larry's resume is still active on that site, there's an outstanding chance you've hired a job gypsy at that point, and he ain't going to be there long. And whether he says he's going to be there forever or not, I would not believe him until I saw that resume not being posted to that site anymore as an active participant. Recruiting, PR. And this is huge. Very often it's the PR part of the campaign that gets the recruiting and retention done for your company. And I'll give you a great example. One of the most difficult positions to fill in the United States, actually in the world right now, is nursing. There's a massive nursing shortage across the world at this point. So what do you have when you have a massive problem like that? You've got to be thinking a little bit differently. Well, a few years back, we get a phone call from the VA hospital of Long Beach in California. And the VA hospital says, can you come out and talk to us? We're having a brutal time recruiting registered nurses. And I said, yeah, absolutely. So next day, I'm sitting in front of the director of HR for the VA hospital of Long Beach. And we're chit-chatting back for a few minutes, and I tell them a little about the program. And then very quickly, I asked him a question. It's the same question I asked to every company, placement agency, school in the United States, and that is this. Do you offer your registered nurses, because that's what he's looking for, do you offer your RNs anything that's unique or different, anything that would help you stand out from your competitors? Now, keep in mind, this is Los Angeles I'm talking about. There's 1,000 other medical facilities in LA, and I'm pretty sure he's going to answer, no, we don't offer anything different. But he doesn't. Immediately, he said, Chris, actually we offer 4 things that no other medical facility offers in the entire region. 4. I thought, boy, that's hard to believe in my mind. I'm thinking that, but I said, hey, wow, that's cool. Can you tell me what they are? Ready to write them down. He said, number 1, we offer our registered nurses the lowest pay in Los Angeles. That helps us to stand out. Number 2, we offer our registered nurses the lowest benefits package in Los Angeles. Number 3, we currently have the worst nurse-to-patient ratio in Los Angeles. And number 4, we have the oldest equipment still functioning in a medical facility in the state of California. These are the 4 things that make us unique and different. Go ahead, dude, write the commercial. And I said, well, we've had some easier requests in the past, I'm not going to lie to you. I said, how many folks do you have working here, man? He goes, 1,600. I said, how many are nurses? He said, about half, about 800. I said, okay, you have 800 nurses swimming in your pool right here. Every one of these 800 nurses knows they could walk out of your pool and walk into your pool today, or yours, or yours, or yours, and get hired. And immediately make more money, and make better benefit package, and not have to work as hard, and have newer technology to work with. I go, why the heck do they stay working for you? And he kind of scratched his head a little bit, and he said, I think a lot of people work here just because they feel like they're doing something good for the country by working at the VA. And I said, I can understand that, I can appreciate that. And I said, do you have a one-sheeter on the RN positions? And he said, yeah, I do. And he handed it to me, and as he handed it to me, I stood up, I shook his hand, and I said, if we come up with something for you, I'll give you a call. Now, normally when I meet with a company for the first time or organization, I'll probably spend 30 minutes to an hour with you, telling you about the program, finding out what's going on with Enterprise and what you guys have going on and everything like that. I was in and out of the VA in 5 minutes, and he was pretty sure I was never coming back. He was pretty sure he'd frightened me away. We called him up 2 days later, and we said, we have 2 commercials already produced that you have got to hear. And he's amazed. But he says, how fast can you come out? So we zip on out there. And as I walk in, he just has his hand up like that. He said, I don't want a sales pitch. I just want to hear what you came up with. No talking, just play the commercial. I said, fine. Play the commercial. First commercial goes like this. Hey, if you're a nurse in Los Angeles, like to make less money with less benefits and work a little bit harder, check this out. The VA has some openings for you. Now, even if you've not been a nurse for 30 or 40 years, it's okay. We've got the same equipment you used to use before. It should make for a fairly seamless transition. For more information, call 1-800-GO-NURSE. And the guy's rolling because that's great comedy. Can you please destroy that commercial right now? And we literally took out the CD, we threw it in the garbage can, and he goes, yeah, I don't want to use that particular kind. We said, we didn't think you did, we're just kind of playing with you a little bit. He goes, let's hear the real commercial. So we played the real commercial and went like this. If you got into nursing to help people, please listen to the following information. If you'd like to help the people that have made this country such a great place to live, then it's time to consider a career with the VA Hospital of Long Beach. If you got into nursing strictly for the money, do not call us. If you care about people, if you love this country, then stand up and be recognized. For more information on the nursing positions, call 1-800-GO-NURSE. Went on from there. Patriotic music is blaring in the background of this commercial. Every time you hear it, you're just doing one of these, right? They only had 30 days left in their fiscal budget. 30 days. In 30 days, they had 48 nurses knocked on their door. 48. It was the most successful time they had had in 7 years, in 1 month period. 7 years. We literally took their biggest negative and we put it into the commercial. We go, Seth, if you're in it for the money, don't call us. But if you love this country, respond. We laid the biggest guilt trip on every nurse in LA. We had these nurses coming out of the woodwork. Every company's got a PR story to tell. Maybe you're locally owned and operated. Maybe you're an ESOP company. Maybe your pay isn't great. Maybe your benefits are outstanding. Maybe your advancement potential is incredible. Everybody's got a story to tell. And we're going to tell part of that story in these commercials themselves. Point number 3, creation of a true employee recognition commercial. In every ad that we do, it's a recruiting ad. In the same ad is a PR ad. Same ad, we're going to be recognizing your people. Now, most times, when there's an employee recognition situation, there's a plaque on a wall somewhere, right? There's a plaque with a bunch of brass nameplates all over it, and it may read, what is your first name?
Cindy.
Cindy. And Cindy's our employee month. Quick, give Cindy a hand. She's our employee month. She's done a great job. No clapping over there. Not your friends, apparently. Okay, so Cindy is our employee. Do they know you? Cindy, our employee of the month, right? She's awesome. She's great. She's fantastic. In response for her awesomeness, we've given her a brass nameplate 2 inches long by ½ inch high. She's got a parking space out front. She has some flowers on her desk. And all that is good. That's all that is very, very good, but it's limiting. You know, I see these plaques everywhere I go. I travel 200 days a year. I see the plaques all over the place. But you know what? I see these plaques. You know who's excited about being named Employee of the Month?
Cindy.
Cindy.